significant wetlands, and a certain minimum percentage of all other land could be developed. This could be 50, 70%, whatever. Make your decision about this widely known. Adopt a thorough and regular education program to ensure that the public is routinely made aware of these restrictions as they apply to wetland impacts. Number 4, implement sustainable design initiatives to all development, irrespective of its proximity to a wetland feature. What is good for wetland protection is also good for older growth forests, open grasslands, etc. There needs to be incentives for developers to consider green design. Number 5, have meaningful consultation with wetland experts and consultants to balance the science and policy with the practical application of wetland conservation. This will ensure a sustainable approach to development for both the environmental perspective and the economical perspective. And lastly, under the Clean Environment Act, clarify Schedule A of the wetland-related trigger to mean that an EIA is only required when activities are in or within 30 meters of a wetland greater than 2 hectares in size. Thank you.
Thank you. Excuse me, can I get a copy of your presentation before you leave, please?
Thank you. We'll move on to mic number 1.
Good morning, Minister Berlaney. My name is Mark Darcy. I'm with the group, the Friends of UMB Woodlot. Just a quick aside about beavers. In the state of Washington, it's no laughing matter, and as the Globe and Mail Focus article, full-page article a couple of Saturdays ago, they are the new eco warriors in our battle against climate change. And the state of Washington has 2 choices. They can consider building a series of dams and reservoirs in upstream tributaries to prevent flooding and drought conditions in the towns and cities below, at the cost of $10 billion. But it turns out that beavers, they think they can start a pilot project and for $1 million bring in beavers and allow them to do their thing. And so that's an interesting aside in beavers and their relationship to climate change. I'm disappointed to hear Councillor Stephen Chase's opinion that the current wetland conservation policy is too strict. I would like to see the City of Fredericton also concern itself with the protection of the residents' homes and businesses from flooding. And Councillor Stephen Chase, his constituents are in the Southside Hill. I live in the downtown Platte. And geographically, we are sandwiched between a huge forested wetland at the top of the hill, just across the street here in the UMB Woodlot, and the floodplain of the St. John River. But the good news is that Southside Fredericton residents and businesses are fortunate to have the protection of these huge wetlands. And because we're a downtown Platte with this steep hill, you must have these wetlands preserved to save us from severe rain events of climate change. So as a group, the Friends of UMB Woodlot would like to see the David Alward government strengthen the current New Brunswick wetland conservation policy. And by the sounds of it today, we need to have more resources. I would really encourage the Alward government to give you, the minister, and your department more resources to make sure that there isn't a bottleneck when these new predictive mapping layers are now coming forward. I'd like to talk about something that is the elephant in the room that we haven't addressed yet, and that's public safety. This is a public safety mandate for your government. Wetlands, both upstream and urban wetlands, are our main defense that will protect our homes and businesses from the severe rain events of climate change. Back in December 2010, less than an hour's drive away from Fredericton, a cloudburst hung over Macadavic Lake. I talked to EMO officials about it. They'd never seen anything like it before, these new storm systems. It hung over the lake and dropped more than 6 inches of rain. Just to give you an idea, 8 inches of rain, each inch of rain is the equivalent of 13 inches of fresh snowfall. So imagine 8 inches being 2.64 meters. That's over 8.5-foot snowfall. Then have that melt in 24 or 48 hours. That's what downstream the Macadavic River and Charlotte County experienced. And anyone looking at those pictures can see it's very terrifying. That was an hour's drive away. The next time it could be over Fredericton. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, back in June 2008, had a 500-year flood event. It rained 18 inches of rain. 18 inches. Unfortunately for Cedar Rapids, they devastated, because they didn't have good, strong wetland conservation policy, they had already devastated their upstream wetlands. And Cedar Rapids has a downtown just like the downtown of Fredericton, and go look at the pictures. All you could see were the tops of the stop signs, like a downtown plat of our homes and businesses. And so climate instability is a new reality here in our province. We can't allow any more upstream wetlands and urban wetlands to be destroyed. It is well documented that upstream wetlands take on a critical role in protecting our cities from the sudden rise in river flooding. And urban wetlands take on a very significant role in buffering the volume and speed of runoff over our cities.
Excuse me, Mr. Dusher, we're at the 5-minute mark. I'm going to ask you to wrap it up.
All right. So instead of this confusion and extra heartache to farmers, woodlot owners, land developers, we need to embrace a diversified economy for this province. We need to support the growth of our local farmers. We need to give local communities the tools to manage their own community forests, and we need to stop urban sprawl. It just so happens that strong wetland protection goes hand in hand with these economic diversification strategies. So in closing, please strengthen the wetland conservation policy. Please protect our homes and businesses from the severe rain events of climate change, which are here now. Thank you. I'll email you.
Thank you. We'll move on to like number 2.
Good morning, Mr. Clayton.
No comment.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is